Hey, folks, how are you? Welcome once again to Cooking with Charles. I'm your host, Charles. Tonight, we're going to make kind of a sauteed, rolled, stuffed chicken. As a matter of fact, I was just pounding my meat right here. We're starting off with about a pound size chicken breast. We've cut that up. You know how to do that yourself. So for right now, what I want you to do is go grab yourself a libation. Tonight, we're sporting a Gallo Chardonnay. Gallo, a fine family of wines for everyday wine drinking. So go get you what you want to drink, imbibe with me. That's a fancy way of saying let's drink and let's cook. So come on back, folks, and we'll get this party started. We'll see you in about 2 minutes. Cooking with Charles is made possible by the generous donations of Sully's Superette, the best meats in town. The Goffstown Network. If you need a helping hand, they're there to lend that helping hand. If you can lend a helping hand, they can use your help. We're back. All right, about done with the chicken. We'll let this sit for a second. For those of you who are just joining us, we're going to make like a stuffed, rolled, sauteed, baked chicken. It's all going to come together later. Kind of hard to explain, but we're going to show you how to do it. So, first of all, you have your libation. I have mine. We're going to get our vegetable going first tonight. We have some basic green beans. All we're going to do is put a little bit of olive oil on those. Give those a little toss. And we're just going to season these. Some sea salt, because that's very chefy to use. Some ground pepper, because that's also very chefy to use. And we're going to give this a little bit of cumin, because that's also chefy to use. All right, going to give this all a nice toss. And put that on a little baking dish. And we are going to put this into our preheated 375 degree oven on the bottom quarter of the oven, because we are going to need the top half for our chicken. All right, now that dish right there, those beans, you can also do that on the grill. I would highly recommend you do those on the grill as well. They come out crispy, caramelized, beautiful, but we don't have a grill going tonight, so we're gonna do it that way. And since I always cook what I have in my refrigerator before the show, I had those in my refrigerator, and that's what we're doing with them. All right, so next up, well, we got our pans going right here. Well, let's do our chicken first, folks. I'm wearing gloves. You don't have to do this at home, the glove portion, only because, well, not everybody has gloves, but we don't have a lot of places to wash your hands here, so the gloves come in handy when you're using something like chicken. So what are we going to do with our chicken that's rolled, sauteed, it's this, it's that, it's everything else? Well, first we're going to season it. Little salt, a little pepper, got some garlic, gonna put about a quarter to half a teaspoon of garlic into each of these because I like garlic. All right, you know what? Gloves aren't working for me. I'm touching everything anyway with my chicken fingers, so we'll just put those aside. Now, for the chicken, what are we going to roll it with? Well, I came across, if I can open this, a special ingredient for tonight's dish, smoked paprika. A little bit of this can add a lot of flavor. So we don't want to use more than, God, a quarter teaspoon over everything. It's just, It's like paprika on steroids, in your face, smoky flavor. This has a very, very light smoky flavor, so it'll be a very light, delicate taste. Now, next we're going to take our chicken and we're going to fill it with the goodness of cheese. Yes, folks, cheese, the candy for fat kids. I shouldn't say that, but I can't help myself. I love cheese. Tonight we get some brie. I am going to cut the rinds off, only because I want a little snack. Delish. And we're just going to take a slice and put it right in the middle of each of these. And then we're going to start the rolling process. Let me get some room right here. Put all that aside. And very simply, we are just going to roll the cheese up on the inside of this and hide it as much as possible. Now this pound of chicken breast, this could actually feed 4 people, because about a quarter pound a person per serving is actually just what the doctor recommends for your dietary allowance. About the size of a deck of cards, they say. Might be a small deck of cards, but it's a deck nonetheless. Okay, that is there. Perfect. So next, gonna get a little bit of oil. Heating up right in there. Our pans are preheating for us. Gonna season the outside. Make sure this oil, it's getting a little shimmery over here. So we know that it's ready. So what are we gonna do? Well, we are just going to, see that? I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. That scared me right now. Perfect. Perfect. Also perfect. A little hot right there. Okay. We're going to let these sit for about a minute on that side before we move them to our greased pan right here. A little bit of olive oil in the middle of that keeps them from sticking. All right, let's see how this is doing. Perfect. We're getting that brown just a little bit. Not so much. They're falling apart a little bit, but you know what? We can work with this. What we're doing is we're cooking it this way first so that everything cooks a little bit quicker once it goes in the oven. Oh, that one's a nice rolled one. That one, oh, there's no saving that one. See what we can do with this one just to give it more of a roll. I think we'll save that one too. And this one, this is just the thick piece. Gonna cook the back side of that just for a second. Okay, while that one's cooking a little bit longer, I got some nice mushrooms here. Also, I just had them and I love the taste of cooked button mushrooms. Nothing really fancy about these except they taste good. Now some people will tell you you must brush your mushrooms off with the pastry brush or something because you don't want to get them wet. Well, they're true in the fact that you get a mushroom wet, it can get mushy. However, since you're washing it right before you're using it, you don't really have to worry about it getting them wet too much because they are 98% water. I wash these with water, and you know what? They taste great. And it's a lot easier. Full mouth here. They taste great. It's a lot easier than brushing them off and getting the dirt off. Just get them wet. They're fine. Okay. A little bit of pepper on there. And a little bit of salt on that. I'm using very little salt, folks. I know I keep going back to the salt, but I'm using very, very little of it. Because I'm a fan of the Brie, I'm going to just put a slice on top. All right, so what do we do now? Well, we're going to put this in the oven. Oh wait, I almost forgot a special ingredient, honey. We are going to top this off with the sweet, succulent taste of Mother Nature's honey. Done. And we are going to put this in our oven. Those beans smelling great. All right, folks, right now we're going to take a quick break while everything starts to cook. I'm going to turn these beans and we'll come back in about 2 minutes. So come right back. We'll see you then. We could not do this show without the help of our friends at Sully's Superette. Since 1987, Sully's has provided the area with the best meats around. Here at Cooking with Charles, we not only count on them for their kind donations of meat, but John and the gang at Sully's also provide us with the best produce, deli items, and libations that make Cooking with Charles the huge success it is. From all of us at Cooking with Charles, thank you. Hey, welcome back, folks. I told you I'd be here. I don't lie. All right. What am I doing now? I'm making kind of a bread pudding. What I have in my freezer is I take all the heels we don't eat, or they're going stale, because I personally prefer the heel bread, and bread that we're just not going to eat is going stale. So what I have is like a honey wheat nut here in my bag, and I got a lot of pumpernickel. I was in a pumpernickel mood one week, but that lasted about half a loaf. So I just threw this in the freezer, and I save it for croutons, stuffings, all sorts of stuff. So here we go. This is what we're doing. I got some chicken stock heating up right over here, and I am just going to put my bread in, and I am just going to let it absorb that chicken stock. Now, what you can also do if you're home, you can saute some onions, capers, really, I mean, anything you want to go in here. I'm just going to use the basic bread itself and the chicken stock. I've done this in the past with cream and such, and that was a wonderful dish. So what I'm going to do here, I'll let that dry out a little bit because, well, I love my cheese. I got some feta. I normally make this dish with blue cheese or a blue type of cheese, but well, I don't have any. So I got plenty of feta. And what do they say about feta? If you're at home saying feta makes it better, you are correct. Okay. All right, that's beginning to burn a little bit in the bottom. So we're going to pull that off the heat. Okay, now I'm gonna finish this off in the oven. But every week I do forget one thing, and that was a little pan for that. So, never fear, Chef Charles is here. We are going to move the beans over to one side, and this pan's going to do double duty for us. There we go. We're just going to let it sit in here and warm up because we are on the tail end of our culinary excursion. All right. Next up, we are going to do a little bit of a pan sauce. Let me get rid of this first. For the chicken. So we have some oil right here. Let's get this turned on a little bit. And let's get a little wipe down here. I always like to work with a clean area. While that's heating up, we can do this little clean up. Voila. And plus it's a good time to take a drinking break. And you all know I don't need any encouragement to take one of those. All right. Also take this time to, oops, I turned the wrong burner on. Thank God that's silicone. Oh boy. Woo-hoo. Almost had a major accident here. Okay. Well, we'll fix that soon. Okay. Anyway, little business right now. If you want to catch this episode or any of my past episodes, which are very popular on YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, Cooking with Charles M. It's all one word. You can also do a keyword search for Charles Minnick, Charles, Food is Love. I'm in on all of those. So you can also email me at cookingwithcharles@gmail.com. I will return every email you send me, even the bad ones. I can give you recipes online, anything you want. So let me know if you want me to cook anything special. And Ed Valade, I still have not forgotten about your request for French onion soup. I will do it. I just keep forgetting. And you know what? I'm going to find a summertime French onion soup, a little variation. That will be the culinary journey I will take with you, Ed Valade. All right. So let's get going on this sauce. Oil's heating up. It's going to be a very simple pan sauce here. Going to give it a little bit of butter. Going to let that melt down. So what we have in here is the leftover oil from the chicken. A little bit of vino. Vino makes a kino. And that is it. We'll take a little bit of garlic. Put that in there for flavor. No more salt, but a little bit of pepper. And one of my favorite spices in the world, tarragon. Love tarragon. Something about it. It's like, to me, it's the perfect spice, perfect herb. It's sweet, it's savory, it's everything I want a spice to be, an herb to be. And there we go. We're gonna let that reduce. And like I said, it's a very, very light sauce. Like, it's not cream, it's not heavy. We could add some cream to it, thicken it up if we wanted to, but yeah, that's still a little hot. Like I said, it's a very light white wine garlic sauce. We're gonna put this to the side. Let's see where we are in here. My God. I'm looking at culinary greatness. Wow. Okay, we're gonna plate this up in 1 second, folks. Also, for tonight's show, I do want to give a special shout out to Jennifer Littlefield. She is the one who inspired me to make this meal because she asked for something with chicken and brie. So Jen Littlefield of Hillsborough, New Hampshire, this meal's for you. Okay. Let's see how we're looking so far, folks. Yum. You know, I gotta remember to turn burners off when I'm done using them because I'm just gonna burn myself and the studio down. Oh, this looks great. Well, let's check the chicken. Oh, perfect, perfect. Where are my tongs? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these mushrooms. I'm just gonna drop them in here for no other reason except it's my show and I feel I must do that. All right, I'm gonna place those right in there. I'm gonna give everything about 1 more minute and we're gonna take a break. When we come back, very quick break, guys, so don't go too far. When we come back, we're gonna plate up all this goodness. So we'll see you soon. I've teamed up with the Goffstown Network to tell you about their outreach and food pantry programs. The mission of the Goffstown Network is to provide for the hunger-related needs of our neighbors in Goffstown and their surrounding communities. Founded with the governing principles that no person should go hungry and every person deserves our care. The Goffstown Network serves the area by providing food and other services on an emergency short-term basis. This spirit of community and mutual caring is extended to anyone in Goffstown, Dunbarton, and New Boston. Normal hours of operation are Wednesday evenings, 6 to 8 p.m., and Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to noon. Now, you can also assist them through donations of time, food, or money. Like the help they give, the help they receive is also greatly appreciated. You can reach them by calling the number on your screen or by stopping by the Parish House of St. Matthew's Church. It's located in downtown Goffstown at 7 North Mass Street, right across from Sully's. We are back. And I think we are ready. All right. Oh, this looks great. And folks, before I go any further, I want to thank my benefactors here, locally here in Goffstown, New Hampshire, where we film. Well, one, Comcast, our cable company, provides all this stuff through licensing fees, blah, 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 blah. But also Sully's Superette is our local grocery store, and that's where pretty much everything I get comes from. So thank you to them and to Tisdale, Gallo. Those are our wine sponsors, and believe me, I would not have them as sponsors if they did not give us a decent product. Yes, this is not a $100 bottle of wine. It's a $5 bottle of wine, but it's a decent wine to drink every day. It's like table jug wine, which is what they drink in most of the world for dinner. Every night doesn't have to be chefy food like this or great bottles of wine. Anyway, I digress. So let's check this out, folks, huh? Ooh, look at that. Oh, Dave, let's go right over here to this camera over here so we can see. Huh? Look at that cheesy goodness. You know, for aesthetics, I'll take this little, I'll take all the cheese off, but that's what we have right there. Now, I'm gonna come right over here. A little bit of this bread pudding. Now I know somebody's gonna email me and say, well, bread pudding's made with this and bread pudding's made with that. Well, guess what? You tell your Sicilian grandmother, because that's usually who gave you the recipe for everything, even Chinese food I find out. Bread pudding's made out of anything. It's bread and water put together, made mushy. It's also called stuffing. So there's not much difference between it. Just saying bread pudding sounds a lot better than stuffing. But yes, and back to what I said about Sicilian grandmothers, everybody has one, it seems like. Oh, my grandmother, who's Sicilian, it's like, the guy I'm talking to said that he's Puerto Rican. He does not have a Sicilian grandmother, and you know he doesn't. But everybody seems to have one when they're talking about food. But so, that's bread pudding or stuffing. Oh, we got some mushrooms here. While we're on break, I just cut these into halves. We'll just place those to the side. And, well, we need a little bit of our sauce. Again, this is a very light butter white wine sauce. Yes, we have cheese. Yes, we have butter. But it's really not that bad for you. We're just going to spoon a little bit on the top here. And, well, let's get a look at our plate right over here at this camera, Dave. Dave's the guy in the control booth who makes all the camera decisions. So, look at that. That is our restaurant quality meal tonight, folks. Okay. Well, let's just see how it tastes. Need a big knife tonight because this is a big meal. Oh yeah, I love Brie. Folks, I wasn't sure about the flavor profile for this. And that's another chefy way of saying how it's going to taste. But I did have concerns about the Brie and the smoked paprika with the honey. But we're getting everything you need. You get sweet, you get savory, the salt, the pepper. It's working perfectly. And that is a very well-balanced dish right there. Wow. And my stuffing. Wow. This is a great... You know what? With the pumpernickel, make this on a cold winter's day. That would be delicious. And our beans. Perfect. Beans as finger food, folks. Once again, we have achieved a half an hour of culinary greatness. You guys are along for that journey, and I thank you. And I look forward to seeing you every Monday at 7 p.m. when we air a new episode on Channel 16 on GTV of Cooking with Charles. So until then, be happy and love the person you cook with, folks. Because food is love, and sharing food shows your love. I myself am going to have some more of this lovely, lovely chicken. Yum. Oop, got a bean on that one. Man, I love this job.